A very good evening to all of you, my dear students. Welcome back to your science class. I hope you all are fine and following all the protocols and guidelines of COVID. So, in this situation, we need to be at home and study hard. This is Seema Kumar in front of you, and today I'm going to cover the topic animals everywhere in this video. Hope you all enjoy my earlier videos that was of rocks and minerals. So children, watch this interesting video till end to know more about mm, animals everywhere. So in this picture you can see that there are some plants that is growing and that are adapted in growing in snowy areas, desert areas. You can see the animals also, polar bear, the those who are capable to live in snowy area, and this camel lives in sandy desert area. So children, plants and animals are seen all around us in different surroundings. They survive on land, in water, sea, even in the air. So they are found in mountains, forests, deserts, polar areas, oceans, seas, and rivers. So these are all places where animals can live. Okay, so the natural home or environment of an animal, natural home. Don't forget what natural home. Okay, so the natural home or environment, environment, environment of an animal is called its habitat. Habitat. So the natural home or environment of an animal is called its habitat. Okay, you can see here in this picture how this tiger living in jungle, polar bear, this water animal, this spider also. You can see they are all adapted to live in such kind of places. The changes or modification in the bodies of plants or animals to suit their immediate surroundings are called adaptation. Okay, here you can see cactus, how their lips are changes into spine shape to for the evaporation of less water from the leaves. Okay, and this fur you can see this of polar bear. Okay, so these are part of animal adaptations. Okay, its body structure, you can see the camel, it's having a hump. In that they store their food in the form of fat. Food habits, nesting habits, and the last is movements are a part of adaptation to its immediate environment. Now the next, classification of animals on the basis of their feeding habit. So like all animals, living beings, animals too need food to get energy to grow and survive. So animal can be classified on the basis of their feeding habits. Okay, the first it is herbivores animals. Okay, and what it is called, herbivores animals called herbivores. Okay, animals that eat only plant or plant eaters animals are known as herbivores. Animals that feed on plants are called herbivorous animals or herbivores. Okay, they have sharp sharp front teeth. Okay, that is incisors. Okay, The next it is carnivores. Okay, the next it is carnivores. What is carnivores? Okay, what is carnivores? Uh-oh. So animals that eat only the flesh of other animals are known as carnivores animals. The third, omnivores animals or omnivores. Animals that eat both plant and animal is known as plant and flesh. Yes, plant and flesh of other animals is known as omnivores. And one more is scavengers. What is scavengers? Flesh eating animals that feed on dead animals. That they eat the remains of the dead animals. That animals is known as scavengers. And the last but not the least is parasites. Small animals that get their food from the other living organisms is known as parasites. I hope you all understand this feeding habit of animals. Now one by one I am explaining again. The first, it is herbivores. Okay, animals that feed on plants are called herbivores, or the plant eater animals is known as herbivores animals or herbivores, you can say. They have sharp teeth. Okay, they have sharp teeth that is called incisors. Okay, for biting and cutting. And one more thing, yes, molars. Okay, that is very strong broad teeth called molars to grind the food, to make fine paste of the food when they nibble the food and taking out again from the second stomach to the mouth. Then the molars they use when the cow is at the relaxing time. That time they just make fine paste of the food and swallow. Okay, the next you can see here the example of herbivores animals: horses, cows, elephants, deers, goats, and giraffe. These all are the example of herbivores animals. Okay, here you can see elephant. Elephant, the largest herbivore, spends about 18 hours a day eating grass. So this is also the example of herbivore animals, the largest herbivores animals. Here you can see in this image is herbivorous birds. Okay, they eat plants and their parts like seeds, nectar, and fruits. So bird that eat nuts. Here you can see nut. Okay, nut and seeds have short and strong beaks. Almost it is resembling as a nutcracker. Okay, nutcracker. Now come to the next. Yes, carnivores. What is carnivores animals? So animals that feed on the flesh of other animals are called carnivorous animals or carnivores. Okay, so these all are carnivores animals. They all are flesh eaters of other animals. They have very sharp teeth called canine. Okay, that is canine. All mutton eater, flesh eater animals have sharp, long, pointy canine. It is pointy teeth. Okay, that help in tearing flesh of its prey. Prey, prey, as well as strong grinding teeth. So these are that is the adaptation of carnivorous elements, because they have longer canines, so they can make a grip or tear the flesh in a easy way. So this is the example of carnivorous animals: lion, tiger. These are example of carnivorous animals. This is the example of carnivorous birds: eagle, kite, hawk, and kingfisher. These all are the example of carnivorous birds. So they have curved claws. It is claws. Okay, they have curved claws, and that help them catch and hold their prey firmly. And they also have curved hook like a strong beak. Here you can see strong hook like strong beak helps them tear the prey into small pieces. Okay, see, this is also the example of carnivorous amphibians, okay, like frog and toad. Okay, this is frog and this is toad. This okay, so frog and toad, they are feed on spider, moth, and dragonflies, and many other insects. Okay, so these are all the example of carnivorous animals, carnivorous birds, carnivore amphibians. Okay, so their sharp eyesight, and long elastic tongue. Here you can see long elastic tongue, how they roll out their prey to their mouth. Okay, long elastic tongue that helps them to catch their prey even from a distance. So these all were the example of carnivores. Now the next, omnivores. Now comes to omnivores. What is omnivores animals? So animals that eat both plants and animals are called omnivores animals or omnivores. Example here you can see crow, okay, bear, human being, and fox. Okay, so they have well developed incisors. This front four teeth are called incisors, and molars to eat both type of food. Molars, they use molars to make a fine paste of the food. So human beings and these all omnivores animals, crow, bear, fox, they have uh, incisors and molars to eat both the types of food. So these all were the example of omnivores. Okay, now come to the next, scavengers. What is scavengers? So animals that feed on flesh of dead animals. They also, what is the difference between carnivores and scavengers? So carnivorous animals, they eat flesh of other animals, but what scavengers eat, they also eat the flesh of other animals but of dead animals. Okay, the remains of dead animals. Okay, so that is the difference between carnivores and scavengers. So what is the example of scavengers? Here you can see vulture, vulture, and hyenas, hyena. These are the example of scavengers. Now the next, rodents. What is rodents? So many rodents like rat are able to eat almost anything. They eat anything. And they have sharp incisors. Here you can see they have sharp incisors to nibble, and molars for gnawing. Okay, knowing what I'm telling, GNAWING. So here G, it is silent, so that's why it is called gnawing. Okay, the pronunciation of this is gnawing. Okay, now come to the next. These all are parasites. Okay, some small animals that get their food from other living organisms are called parasites. Okay, so here you can see they may live on or in, okay, on or inside the body of the host. So these are parasites. They get their food from other living organisms. Living organisms, which one? They may live on or inside the body of the host. Now the next, here you can see the example, fleas and lice lives on the host body. Okay, while here you can see this tapeworm, roundworm, and hookworm lives inside it. Okay, now come to the next, what it is. So animals groups based on organs of breathing. Here you can see this is the human being. They can breathe with the help of lungs. This fish they can breathe with the help of their gills. And this insect is small holes you can see that is called spiracles. So now we will learn animals group based on organs of breathing. Okay, so here you can see all living organisms inhale or breathe in oxygen and exhale, or you can say breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, so reptiles, bird and mammals breathe with the help of lungs. Reptiles, bird and mammals breathe with the help of lungs. Okay, see, you can see the lungs. Okay, okay, now breathing in mammals. Okay, however they have different organs for breathing. Okay, now okay, see breathing in mammals. For this I want to show you one video. Let's see. Okay, mammals including human beings breathe air through their lungs. Wait, I'm showing you. See, in this video you can see. Okay, in this video you can see breathing in mammals. Okay, mammals including human beings breathe air through their lungs. It is going from nose to mouth. Air is taken through the nose and mouth, and down the air goes, that is tracheas or windpipe into the lungs. The carbon dioxide is then thrown out of the lungs and exhaled through the mouth or nose, you can say. Okay, so that was it. Now the next, breathing in aquatic animals. Okay, so now children, you tell me, did you know that fish breathe in oxygen too? Yes, they breathe oxygen. How? Actually they depend on their gills to inhale the oxygen present in the water. Okay, the whatever oxygen present in the water, that they breathe through the help of gills. Okay, so the fish takes water into its mouth. Okay, see how it is taking water into its mouth and forces it out through its gills. This yellow color you can see, that is gills. Okay, forces it out through its gills. Okay, as the water passes out through the thin walls of the gills, the dissolved oxygen in it enters the blood stream. Okay, all blood vessels are there present in their gills. So these blood vessels absorb this oxygen present in the water, and this all water pushes out from their gills, and they absorb oxygen like that. Okay, but there is, see how when they pushes water out through the gills, so how this blood vessels absorb this oxygen. Okay, now there are however exceptions like whale and dolphin. Okay, whale and dolphin, they breathe in the oxygen present in the air, not in the water. Okay, only fish absorb oxygen present in the water, but this dolphin and whale, they breathe in the oxygen present in the air through their lungs. They have lungs, and they do this by coming out to the water surface. How they coming out to the water surface? And they breathe oxygen present in the air. Okay, now the next, breathing in insect. So insects such as here you can see cockroach and grasshoppers have very small opening. Their body is called spiracles. Okay, spiracles, through which they inhale and exhale air. Okay, inhale, breathe in, exhale, breathe out. Okay, so here you can see the spiracles open into a network of air tubes. See how it is coming. Okay, the spiracles open into a network of air tubes inside the body called trachea, Trachea. trachea, trachea, which carry oxygen in held air to every part of the body.